We make the strings
louder.
Hello everyone, it's another video by Legend, and I have the great idea to fix Siege. I hope some of you developers see this, but if you guys don't know what the Siege problem is, essentially guilds like Man Up, Snake, etc. hold castles for way too long, and they're not necessarily forced to fight. Also, they drop down to lower tier guilds to compete or to participate in sieges and end up kind of fucking up the environment a little bit for other players. But here's my fix for it. So essentially what you should do is have castles super functionable. Have castles have special trade managers, special, quests, special hand-ins, all this, so on and so forth. Allow castles to be built upon. So essentially what that means is fortify them a lot. Why? Because castles can be sieged on at any time. Oh, before you guys start fucking bitching and complaining, I don't mean every single minute of every single day they can be sieged on. No. How they can be sieged on is certain days of the week. So for example, we have Monday through Friday. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, the guild castle can be sieged on at any time. Within those days, only 3 guilds out of each of those days can siege that guild, right? Okay. Now you have those times between each guild siege, about 2 hours between each siege of that guild. Okay. The minute stuff like when it will end, when all that is all just subject to, the developers coming up with it, or we could talk about it in chat or Reddit, but this is just the overview idea. So all the little minute specifics, obviously I'm not going to go over it because it take forever, but this is just the overall idea, just to kind of tell you guys so you don't get pissed off in chat or in the comments or in Reddit. Essentially what it is that you have these guilds put in a ticket on these special days of the week, and this ticket alerts and sends a message to all guild members, to the guild castle, to the guild message board, that there is a random guild sieging you in about 2 hours, or how many ever hours, or how many ever minutes they decide to make this timer. Bam, you have everyone rushing, getting back to the castle, prepping. It also makes keeping the castle a little bit harder, because now you don't give players a lot of time to prepare to protect themselves, but you allow them to fortify, so when they do get called, it's easier to protect themselves. Okay, you have all these perks from the castle. You lose them obviously when you lose the castle. You can build upon it. All the things you build upon, you lose it. So whatever you put into it, you lose. Why is that good? It's kind of just a ride or die kind of it's a risk. It's a risk. Just like enchanting to pen or tet is a risk. You drop down lower, you lose a lot of mills, a couple bill enchanting. Make the castle system the same way. It's relatively fair. You have players who can build upon their castle, and you have players that can siege upon them, and you have a max of 3 sieges on those days where anyone can siege. Now, you don't have to be a specific guild or specific this. Obviously, you could be a completely garbage guild with no sieging gear and get completely raffle stomped, but you have the ability to put in the ticket. Now, obviously, like I said, the specifics, maybe I should go over this. Who can siege the guild castle? Maybe that's a randomizer. That could be a random system, right? Maybe that could be a random system they can put into the game where whoever puts into the siege for the castle, it's randomized. Maybe that's not a good thing because, hey, but I don't think that a lot of players will kind of get up into there and just randomly siege that castle because they don't have the supplies or the power to. So I think that'll be I don't think a random system would be required. I think the guilds that are smarter, and maybe the guilds that come first come, first serve, or essentially just people who are capable of actually sieging those castles are actually going to do it. So those are going to be, just more organized, more experienced players, maybe people who have just more resources will actually take upon that. So I don't think there's going to be a need for a randomized system in terms of who can siege the castle at what time. So I'm going to cover that. Okay, I know that's going to be a big fucking thing in the comments. Anyways, going on from this, you have the weeks, you have the days, you have the alert system, you have the fortification, you have the people coming in with different items. Add different ways to get into the castle. Add different items, like maybe picks to kind of break out the castle like walls and create like small holes in the in the castle walls, and you have like a few ninjas and kunos run through and create sneak attacks. Certain things, maybe smoke bombs, just different stuff, items in the game for Siege to kind of make it like an actual warfare setup, like a really full-blown warfare setup. Add different items in there instead of just making it I have 500 gear score, you have 450 gear score, get one shot, kid, you know. Make it a little bit more of like a just kind of a setup. You could have like lower level, lower geared players kind of run around, move the machines and do stuff. It could be a more intuitive, more of a team effort instead of a gear effort for a lot of people, or more of a witch and wizard effort and DK effort instead of just, you know, it could be like that, you know. Add more items in the game for Siege, like they added the Trina axe. It's kind of insane how you could just wreck someone's shit with that axe, but stuff like that creates different methods for players. Instead of just everyone just blowing each other up with insane gear scores, you can have just a shitty guild run around with Trina axes and take out a tier 2 Siege guild. Like, you know, like shit like that can happen. That's cool. Why? Because it's a different way to play the game. But I think that's it. I hope you guys sit down there in the comments and in Reddit shit talk me or have actual conversation on how to fix this. But I think that's my idea. Kind of go over it one more time so you guys understand it. You have a guild castle that can be fortified, can be built upon, has special perks, quests, trade managers, hand-ins, etc. You have any guild siege that castle on certain days of the week, right? And those days of the week change every week to kind of keep people off a schedule, right? Kind of keep it random. On those days that you can siege at any time, only 3 guilds a day can siege it. Seems like a lot, but hey, it's only certain days of the week. You get a rest. 3 guilds can siege at a day, right? I don't think you need a random system, a randomized system, or a system to conduct people to, you know, kind of siege that. Maybe there are some requirements you must have to be able to siege a castle to kind of prevent people from just spamming it. But like I said before, you know, I think the people who have the resources will siege it. Essentially, you have people siege it, sign up to siege. When you sign up, it sends a message and alert to the message board, to the guild castle, to all the guild members that are online that your castle is being sieged in how many ever minutes, hours, so on and so forth, right? They all rush back, get ready, and, you know, get ready for the siege. Top of that, people who are sieging should have more items. Obviously, the people also in the castles protecting themselves should have more items. There should be, like, you know, pickaxes. People can break down some of the walls, the side walls in the castle, and they have to crawl or crouch walk or roll through like a little hole they've dug out in the wall, and they can get into the castle and promote sneak attacks. You can catapult people into the castle. Just some more fun stuff. But essentially, that's really it. That system is really, I think, my way to kind of fix it. Obviously, a lot of minute stuff hasn't been explained in this video, but hopefully you guys get the overall understanding, overall concept. But like, comment, subscribe, like always. Hope you guys really discuss this with me in the comments and Reddit, in Twitch. But see you guys next video.